So today on the show, each week on the show, we talk about principles that are in Steve's book. Now, you can go and find his book on Amazon and as well, like I said, on the sites I mentioned.
We're going to talk about women today.
So today we're going to talk about women.
And you mentioned Amazon. Ooh. Wow. This could get exciting. I'm already interested.
A little frightening.
I don't even know what I'm going to say, and I'm interested.
Well, and I want to introduce our guest host. This is Lexi. Hi, Lexi. Oh, there she goes. She's having a nap on Steve's lap.
Now you've done it. Everybody's going to think I just have a rug on my lap.
She's a great dog, and she is Steve's chair on the board, board member, chairman of the board. Yeah.
She attends all the board meetings.
So Steve is a successful entrepreneur, and he has founded the company eFoods Direct, and that company has provided a solution for people all over the world. And in his 30 years in the food industry providing a solution so people could eat this gourmet storable meals, Steve has put together these principles that work with people. And the insights are so amazing that I found that they have changed my life and the life of my family. Being a busy working mom, I need all the help I can get. And seriously, the way I'm thinking now is much more proficient and I have much more joy. So today we're going to talk about women. And that's a principle in your book. What is that principle?
Behind every successful man, there is a woman rolling her eyes. When we were dealing with teenagers back home on the farm.
And you're from Minnesota originally.
And the kids, you know, you'd say something and they're going, we say, stop looking at the flies on the ceiling.
Oh, that was rolling your eyes. Teens roll their eyes all the time.
That's true.
And women do too.
Yeah, well, I just discovered in putting some of the thoughts together for this little conversation we're having, that I have a lot of women in my life. I've got you,
Lexi.
Well, yeah, right. Well, enough said. But anyway, I've got you, Kim. I've got Marina, who is kibitzing back there, and I've got Sherry, my wife that passed away a couple of years ago, and I've got Sylvia, my present wife. I've got Babs, my business partner. And so I've got all these women around me. And you'll discover, folks, after this conversation, that I have had no choice but to decide that women literally will be the solution to the problems that our country has with the economy, with the drought. Women will be the solution to the problems that most of the men who think that they're solving the problems have. And all I can talk from is personal experience. Let me tell you a little bit about Sherry. Those of you who've listened before know that at one point in time I was in the pre-need cemetery business. That's selling cemetery property to people that really don't want it. And we were starving, which happened a great deal of the time during my sales career. And Sherry was trying to raise 6 kids and keep the 7th kid in line at the same time. And one time I was driving down from Frankfort, Indiana, where I worked at Green Lawn Cemetery. I've done a lot of stuff that people don't want to do. But anyway.
Which was why you know people and why you're such a great salesperson, and which is why you could write that book.
Well, anyway, I was weeping and wailing and gnashing my teeth and cussing and speaking German like what I usually do. That's my dad used to refer to that as the King's English, and damning and helling all over the place, and fussing about the fact that the market was no good, the product was no good, and everything was no good, except me, of course. And Sherry just said, "Stop!" She happened to be riding with me. She was babysitting me because I was afraid to go out on my own. But anyway, she says, "Stop. You've got to decide. Decide if you're going to be a salesman or not." And I said, "Well, I want to be a salesman." "No, you don't. You haven't decided yet. You keep finding all of these outs. You keep saying, well, the market's no good, so that's an excuse for you not doing well. The people are stupid. That's an excuse for you not deciding what you're going to do. You can't do anything about any of that stuff. You can do something about you. You can decide that you're going to make it into a good market. You're going to make the people intelligent, wise, and courageous enough to make decisions. You've got to find the right people at the right time that want, need, and appreciate what you got." Oh, Okay. So from then on, at one point in time, she found a book, The Lazy Man's Way to Riches. I don't know if it's still published out there, by Joe Carbo. I'll give the guy credit. And he just wrote a simple self-help book that said, write down every goal you got, and then you say them in the morning and you say them in the evening. You try and visualize as much as you can and imagine yourself in it. And at that time, I had a stack of self-help books about that high, and I'd listen to every motivational speaker that you could get on tapes, driving all over the countryside. And she said, okay, we're going to do this. Okay? I said, well, do you think it'll help? Just reading the goals a couple times a day, that doesn't do anything. Just do it. Okay? So we made a list of 57 goals. We wrote them on some notebook paper. We folded it the wrong way just because that's how we happen to fold it.
By the way, the book is still available. That's what our producer just told us.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Joe Carbo. Go find it. All right, go
buy
ahead.
the silly thing. It'll tell you a lot of the stuff that we're telling you. And but the fact is that this stuff worked. But the only reason that I was able to do it, now, there's a principle that people seem to ascribe to, and that's that men think and women feel. I know that this is objectionable to women a lot, but it's really true. Oddly enough, men also feel, and they do what they feel like, and then they justify it with their thinking. But the fact is that they perceive themselves as thinkers, and men do. They process differently. Women process differently than men. But the beautiful thing is, and here's a principle that all of you can relate to. Have you ever gone on a diet, or have you ever decided to do something and it lasts about 3 days? That's about the human capability of thinking. Okay? You can think, and until you get feelings into it, you can't really sustain your determination to decide and stay decided. So what people do is they think and they say, boy, that's a good diet, and they get on it and they last for about 3 days, and then that chocolate cake catches up to them and they are tempted, and then they have to think. But if they haven't gotten the feelings that say, I feel crappy the way I look, I want to fix that, and I can't get interested in that chocolate cake because I know how that'll make me feel. And women can do that a lot better than men. And so I have a perfect example. We wrote the 57 goals down. So I got up in the morning. For the first 3 days, I got up in the morning and I stated my goals and I visualized. And at night, just before I went to bed, I visualized my goals. And about the third day, I said, I'm too tired. Sherry said, read your goals. Okay. Then the next morning I got up and I was in a hurry. I am in too much of a hurry. I gotta get going. You see, I was past the third day. That's my limit for thinking, man. Okay. So anyway, and Sherry said, read your goals before you put that key in the ignition. Okay. And so I read them real fast, but I read them.
Okay.
Okay. And there are a few things that we've learned that we've added to the My Book of Life that people can get, where
Which
they
is
can
great.
do this.
You definitely want to hear more about this.
But anyway, that we didn't know then, but we were just doing the basics. Mm-hmm. And so then I'd come home at night after all my appointments. I'd get home at about 11 o'clock. I'll just do it twice in the morning. No, honey, read your goals. And it wasn't, honey, read your goals after about the sixth night of whining and gnashing my teeth and begging mommy to let me go to bed and not have to do this, or I was too busy, and I did all the excuses in the book. Finally, she got me past the 21st day. You can create now here's something that you might want to remember. You want to create a habit. You want to get up and walk every morning. All you do is set one simple goal. You don't say, I'm going to do it the rest of my life. But if you can do it for 21 days, 21 days, that's 3 times 7 for those in Anoka, Minnesota. Okay, 21 days, you can establish a habit. And then you can stop having to think and fight with yourself. So guys, any of you that want to set these objectives of finding a new job, getting rid of the cardboard sign that says loose change will help, and getting a job, buying a home, doing all the things, taking yourself from wherever you are, any of you in your life, to where you want to be, all you have to do is have someone help you. Guys, if you've got a wonderful, glorious wife, she can help you. And that's why we're talking about women today a little bit. Because women are the powerhouses of our universe. What Sherry did was she got me to the 21st day. And after that, I didn't whine. I didn't cry anymore. I didn't beg to be let go to bed. I knew that if I said, can I not read my goals? The only way I could get by if I didn't ask her and I snuck. But she would know, are you in bed? Have you read your goals? Sorry. She got me past the 21st day. And let me tell you, within 6 months' time, we had accomplished all of those. I personally, a one-man sales team, had outsold in 6 months' time the entire staff of the home office, which had 17 men, and they'd been working for a year. I had a better sales volume than they did, and I had every one of those goals except one. And the bonus that we got at the awards banquet, Sherry took and bought the motorcycle that I had on the goals. So we'd accomplished all of those. So
6 months your life had changed.
I was a successful man. I stood up in front of the group and then brought my wife up beside me and pointed out the fact that what I had not been able to accomplish in 2.5 years had been done in 6 months. Because my daddy used to say, the power behind the throne shall never be known. But I know that with all of my thinking and all of my male bluster and testosterone and how I'm going to go out and conquer the world and slay the dragon and drag the drumstick home, that little woman, with her feelings and her support of me, and her ability not to have to be the one, but being able to take pride in the man that she chose, and to be able to be the support. Many of you have heard the song, The Wind Beneath My Wings. Okay? If you haven't, get it and find a way to support that woman who has the feelings that you need to put together with your thoughts to accomplish whatever you need to accomplish. And the fact is, very simply, when we brought Sherry up there and introduced her as my wife, and they told how wonderful I was, and I admitted the fact that I really hadn't achieved all those goals single-handedly, she did in fact smile and roll her eyes.